Alright, we're going to talk about how to have astral projection, or how to astral project, in just a couple of minutes. So astral projection is an experience where you can sort of leave your physical body and have an OBE, which is an out-of-body experience. This is where you are able to sort of project your consciousness, as it were, into other places. So here's how you do it in quite a few simple steps. So the first thing you need to do is to make sure that you understand when you're going to be doing this stuff, right? This is not something you can do at any point in the day or night. There is a certain sort of sweet spot which you need to target in order to have the best chance of doing this. And that sweet spot is about between 3 and 6 a.m. in the morning. I know it's going to be a bit annoying having to wake up at that time, but to be honest, that's just the best time for this stuff. You know, that's when it's going to work. So you want to wake up at 3 to 6 a.m. Sorry, before that you should just go to sleep as normal. Ideally, if you're tired or you've been doing exercise or something, it'll make it easier to fall asleep. And then you go to sleep as normal, wake up at 3 to 6 a.m. And then at this time you're going to do something quite different, okay? So you're going to wake up, say 3:30, you're going to lay motionless in the bed, okay? You're not going to move at all. And it's really important, by the way, to make sure that you keep your muscles completely relaxed. You know, you hold a lot of tension in your shoulders and in your jaw muscles. So completely relax everything. You know, make sure none of your muscles are tensed at all, and then just lay there. Okay, just don't move at all. Now, what you're going to notice first is that because you're already very tired, you've had, you know, your deep sleep throughout the night. You've had several sleep cycles. You're going to be feeling in such a way that you could easily fall back asleep, but you could also keep your mind awake because you've woken up, right? And this is a sweet spot. This is what you're aiming for. So you need to make sure that when you do this, you don't let yourself fall asleep. Okay, you need to make sure that you let yourself stay awake in your mind, but your body is going to sort of be paralyzed, unable to move. And this is how you're going to astral project, you know, the most effectively and the fastest. So you're laying there motionless. You're going to try and keep your mind awake. Okay, you're not going to fall asleep, because that would just make you have a normal sleep and you know, dreams or whatever. And you're going to wait until something special happens. Now, what's going to happen is, after a while, after say a minute, between 1 and 2 minutes, that's why the title of this video is, you know, how to astral project in 1.5 minutes, 90 seconds, right? So you're going to feel a vibration, or sort of like a fuzzy, hazy feeling all over your body. It might start at your toes, maybe it'll start at your head, and sort of work either up or down depending on, you know, where it starts. And that is known as the vibrational stage. That is known as the beginning of an OBE, where you're just starting to transition from being conscious and awake to being in a different mental state, or different state of consciousness, okay? Because that's what this is, it's a different state of consciousness. So once you've done that, once you've experienced what we call the vibrational stage, the next stage is where you're going to be able to transition from being just sort of laying in the bed and having these vibrations and this feeling, to actually entering the OBE state, or the astral plane. So what you need to do here is, firstly, don't panic, okay? It's going to feel strange. It's not comfortable being unable to move. You know, you're going to be paralyzed on the bed. And that's quite a weird experience for a lot of people, you know, being paralyzed. You're not able to move. It's quite disconcerting. At this time, you might see or hear things that aren't there. You might feel like there's somebody standing above you, like some sort of shadow creature, you know. You might also feel like something's pressing down on your chest as well as you're laying there. This is all completely normal. This is all known as sleep paralysis. Everyone has this, but not everybody is aware of it, because usually you're asleep at 3 a.m, right? Or at least you should be. So normally you sleep through this process, because it's the transition from your deep sleep, or your main sleep chunk, to what's known as REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep. This happens, you know, at the greatest frequency and for the longest time at 3 to 6 a.m, you know, towards the end of your sleep chunk, or the night of your sleep. It happens towards the end. This is a sweet spot for OBEs, for lucid dreams, for anything like that. So this is why you're targeting your REM sleep. So you're laying there motionless. Let's just recap. You've passed the vibrational stage. You feel like some sort of warm, heavy feeling is going up or down your body. Your muscles are all relaxed and your eyes are closed. What will happen now okay, is a very fragile state in between vibrational and OBE, where if you distract yourself or if you have too many thoughts like, what am I going to do today? What am I going to have for breakfast? Where am I going to go? These thoughts will distract you and wake you up. So you want to avoid these as much as possible and then focus instead on keeping yourself awake, okay? You need to keep your mind awake, of course, but also keeping yourself relaxed and calm and not engaged with these thoughts here, the daily monkey mind chatter thoughts, like, what am I going to do? So it's sort of like an art, really, finding the balance between staying alert but not too alert that you wake yourself up. But you know, you're going to get used to this stuff. This is not going to take just a couple of days. You're going to, over the course of the next few weeks, if you try this every night, you're going to begin to improve at this stuff, right? So the technique itself here takes 90 seconds to astral project. But by practicing that every night for, say, a month, you're going to improve to the point where you'll, maybe be able to do it faster. You might be able to do it more often. So really just stay patient with this, guys. Anyway, I'm waffling again. Get back to the point. In the stage between vibrational and OBE, you're going to start to see shapes. And these shapes will be either distinct line drawings of shapes, or maybe there'll be things like colours, like patterns, spiralling patterns going towards you and washing over your, what we call your third eye, or your vision outside of your main eyes, your real life waking eyes. And these patterns will stay and sort of carry on flitting around for a couple of minutes or so. Depending on how experienced you are with this, they might, only last a few seconds and then you'll be into the OBE, but you'll find that out as you try this. So like I said, it's going to take between 1 and 2 minutes, 90 seconds, for this whole process to happen, for you to go from being awake at 3 AM to vibrational to seeing these patterns, we call this the transitional period, to actually having the OBE at the very end of the 90 seconds. So you'll see the shapes. The important thing is not to interact with them, just let them sort of wash over your vision and your audio perception. Don't interact with them in the sense that you try and listen to what sound it is or what's being said if you're hearing any voices, for example. Try not to interact with this stuff, just let it happen like you're watching something passively, okay? Then what's going to happen, you'll start to see the dream merging into your awareness. You'll start to see, for example, a quick glimpse of being in a room, or maybe even the room you're sleeping in, right? You might see a quick glimpse of walking down a street, or walking on a beach, or climbing something, or doing something active, right? You'll be seeing a quick glimpse of this. It won't be the full OBE experience or the full astral plane that you're going to have later on, but it will be a part of it. It'll be like a fragmented version of that. You'll see some part of a dream scene, okay? And the important thing is that if you let this dream or this OBE form around you, around your awareness, eventually, within a few seconds in fact, you will be in the OBE and you'll be able to interact with it. You'll be able to sort of fly around, do whatever you want, and go wherever you want, talk to people, etc. But like I said, this is a very fragile state, okay? That process takes between 5 and 30 seconds, okay, to transition from being, vibrational, laying there not moving, to actually entering the OBE in the dream. This is a very fragile state. If you get too aroused or excited by your thoughts, if you hear noises or it's too light in the room, right? If your curtains are open and the daylight's coming in, if it's an early sunrise, that will all keep you from entering the OBE. That will keep you from becoming engaged with the astral plane. And what will happen instead is you'll just wake up. You'll have a normal morning wake-up routine and nothing will happen. Nothing will change. So that's why it's really important to make sure that if you want to do this, okay, if you want to actually astral project and astral travel, etc., you need to make sure that you meditate every single morning and every single evening. Meditation is going to help you massively with this stuff, especially if you want to have more awareness, more control over your life, more sort of articulation in the words you speak and the way you have thoughts and the way you process information and project it to people. Meditation is going to hugely help you with all of that, as well as, awareness and being able to have ideas and feel calm, feel stress-free, and ground yourself in a way that you can feel calm and sort of collected throughout the entire day. So it really is beneficial to meditate every single morning and every single evening. It doesn't have to be for long, it can be for 5 minutes, it can even be just for a couple of minutes as you're getting started. You know, I've made other videos on how to meditate. You can watch those in the description. And that's it, guys. That's how to astral project in just 90 seconds. You can, this can obviously take you less time if you go through these stages quicker, but it also might take you slightly more time, you know, if you are distracted during the vibrational stage, if you find that you're thinking of various things and you have to bring your awareness back to focusing on the vibrational stage and keeping your mind awake and alert. It can take longer, of course, so be patient with it. You know, it can take a while. And for those of you who have actually made it to the end of this video, you may be upset or you may be pleased to hear that I don't actually believe astral projection is a proven skill in the sense that you can visit the astral plane and it be something separate to your mind. So when I say astral projection for this video, in this context, I'm trying to target people who are trying to learn astral projection, but what I really mean by this, and I sort of group them together because in my opinion, astral projection is the same as a lucid dream. I've made another video explaining why, explaining the science behind it and how I know this for a fact, but my opinion is, at least, that astral projection is a lucid dream. And the reason that I've explained this video almost the same as I would have explained a wild, which is a wake-induced lucid dream, is because the two techniques are very similar. Okay, so if you've noticed, I talk about the vibrational stage, okay? But really that is the same as when I talk about in a wild technique for a lucid dream. The vibrational stage is the same as the transition between being awake and having sleep paralysis and then having a lucid dream. It's exactly the same process, and that's why, in my opinion, it's the same. But you know, if you want to find out more about that, you can watch my other video. By the way, guys, I forgot to say, I have another channel which I really would appreciate if you go and subscribe, follow, like, comment, etc. And that is called Transcend Your Limits. This is like a daily vlog. Obviously I'm doing these lucid videos daily as well, but this is more of a daily vlog, an insight into my life. And you know, when I travel, it's a travel vlog. When I'm, you know, mainly at the house, it's just going to be informational advice, tips, tutorials on life in general. It might, you know, it might be consciousness, it might be personal development, meditation, and yeah. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, and see you next time.